have money. It's been rumored for quite some time that that restaurant, Bar One, was not doing too well.
Bar One has always struggled with financial issues.
Okay.
Not just Bar One in Miami, Bar One in Baltimore. Every business that Peter has opened, they have had issues with not paying people. I have been in hospitality for almost 20-something years. I have worked with all kinds of companies and businesses. I've done task force, I've done everything. I can count the people in the room and tell you how much money that we're gonna make that night.
I saw you in the restaurant. You were on the patio, somebody was behind you with a video, and you were telling the customers, you said all these people, like this food that you eating is being prepared by people who haven't been paid.
But guess why? There's still people there, because they're 3 weeks in the hole. They work 3 weeks in the hole, so they don't have any money, so they don't have any resources to get anywhere else, and he just hands them a couple $100 here and there so they can survive. He enslaves his own people. This is ridiculous. Do you know I have 3 homeless people because they haven't been paid? They working 3 weeks in the hole. There's a picture of it. I let him sleep in the restaurant. Do you know what he told me?
What did he say?
You want to be a social worker, not a manager. He hadn't paid his VP in 90 days. He hadn't paid Miss Rhonda and Shatera in months. They were getting ready to get evicted out of their home, their apartment, and nobody says anything. Do you know they're texting me talking about, have you talked to Peter? Do you know if he's going to pay us?
The question is why?
He's done it all his life, since Cynthia Bailey. He married her, took all her money, and then what happened to their relationship? He did the same thing. He took her money and invested in restaurants. Nobody ever seen it done. People that have messed with him from Housewives of Atlanta, he's done the same thing too.
The Pied Piper himself, Peter Thomas. Lord knows. I should call this video Surviving Peter Thomas, because I ain't never seen no swindle people the way Peter Thomas swindles people. Okay, because he does it in broad daylight. And when I say broad daylight, I mean on television. Peter Thomas, oh my gosh. Like, honestly, I'm not gonna hold you. I honestly feel like we need to go to the school of finesse hosted by Peter Thomas, because Peter somehow has been able to convince people to give him money and lines of credit and credit cards and whatever else, and open up numerous restaurants, given his track record. Like, at this point, Peter Thomas has a trail of bodies behind him, okay? Cynthia Bailey and her credit, R.I.P. Bar One and Bar Nuns, you know what I'm saying, R.I.P. Like, good gracious. The thing with Wendy, obviously, that never came to fruition. And I think partly that was because Wendy didn't have the coin to get it popping. But on top of that, with that whole fallout between Wendy and Mia, it just wasn't going to work out. It wasn't going to work out. But, like, to not pay your workers, it's giving me Nene Leakes tease when Nene was accused of not paying her workers either. I don't know. Maybe they all going to the same school of finesse together. I don't know how he does it. Like, I'm a business owner, right? But I'm only at the point of my business. I've been in business for 1 year. But I'm still trying to I'm still trying to build my business credit. So I have no idea how Peter Thomas is able to get, just how he's able to maneuver and shake in the business world with no real credit. Like, Peter is the only person I know that will convince you to make your grandma put her house up and be successful at it. And you know what's crazy? Like, what's crazy is there is so much proof. Like, the proof is in the pudding. There is so many people, so many, articles. It's on television, written or talked about Peter Thomas not paying bills, not paying people, paying workers with, like, promises of cameos on TV and something like that, some shit. And here I am. I pay my credit cards off every single month. Like, Credit Karma tells me every month, congratulations, you're like in the 90-something percentile of paying off your credit cards compared to everybody else. I pay my credit cards off like every month, and I can't even get a increase on my limit. So cheers to Peter Thomas, because he obviously has the keys and the codes to all this shit. Here's to finessing, you know. I forgot my sea salt, y'all. This is a hot mess. This is really a hot mess. It doesn't make any sense. Either way, what do y'all think about that interview with Tasha K? And the general manager, like, obviously she is ready to burn the house down. Like, it's a house of cards ready to tumble. But, you think this is going to change anything? Like, I want to know your comments. What are your thoughts? I wonder where Cynthia Bailey is at right now. Like, because the last time we heard, Peter Thomas still owes Cynthia Bailey. At this point, if she didn't get the money through the divorce, like after they divorced, and if her lawyers weren't able to get the money when their divorce was going through, or, you know, whatever, she's never gonna get it. Honestly, for Cynthia, it might just be best for you to just cut your losses and move on. Maybe you did. Maybe you did when you married, what's his name? I want to say Broy Hill, but I know Broy Hill is like, I think that's an electronic company. Electronic manufacturer, or maybe they do furniture. I don't know. And hell, you already divorced now from that husband. So, you know, I'm sure Cynthia is like, child, I'm not counting them coins from Peter no more. I'm going to just write that off on my taxes. And hopefully you did. I don't know. But y'all, drop down in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this Peter Thomas situation, because this is trifling. This is trifling. And can I really feel bad? I do feel bad for the workers. I feel bad for the workers who are put in the position to have to stay where they're at. Because I know what it feels like. Once upon a time, I was a tutor, because sometimes I'm smart. And so I was tutoring at Sylvan Learning Center in town. And I really think there was just some like mismanagement, like funds, mismanaging the funds, or they weren't getting enough clients, or I don't know, because there was a ton of kids there, and Sylvan Learning Center is expensive. Like, if you are a parent trying to get your child into Sylvan Learning Center, it is very expensive. Either way, every time payday would come, like, first off, when the first month I started, I was working over 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks into the hole, waiting for a paycheck, which is ridiculous. But at that point, it's like, I waited this long. I've been coming every day, and I need my check. But then I thought, okay, maybe that's just a one-time thing, you know, with them being late on paying the tutors. And then it was like every month, every single month, the owners were sending, and it's so unprofessional, but the owners were sending out like a message the day we're supposed to get paid. So the morning we're supposed to get paid, we're receiving a message from the owner saying, we didn't make it to the bank in time to like issue your checks or whatever. We're sorry for the inconvenience. Please give us a few days. Like, it was complete bullshit, because you have these workers. Okay, you're a business. You have these workers, and when we came to work and we worked, you got our hours. Like, we didn't call you up and say, yeah, I'll come and work once you pay us. No, we came to work and we're expecting to get paid after those 2 weeks. And you're supposed to do this twice a month. Like twice a month, you're supposed to pay us. So I those excuses of not making it to the bank on time never settled. Like it never was settled with me. I was never okay with that just because you do this every 2 weeks. So you should have a system where you're at the bank when you need to be to make sure the checks make it on time. And that's why I was like, that's some bullshit. That's why I really thought like, okay, y'all just not handling business right. Or you're not getting enough kids who are paying consistently, or you don't have enough clients for this Sylvan Learning Center thing or whatever. But I had to leave Sylvan Learning Center, one, because there were a lot of like problem children. Lord, I done went off on a tangent from Peter Thomas to Sylvan Learning Center. But there were a lot of problem children that would come to Sylvan Learning Center. And honestly, I just was not qualified for that. I had a bachelor's and I had experience subbing, and I also had experience working in a high school setting as a college advisor. So, they snatched me up. But there were a lot of in my opinion, I say overqualified tutors. There were obviously teachers who had like master's degrees in teaching, or who had been teaching for like 30 plus years. And they had all of these certificates and stuff that probably in a different setting would really matter and increase their pay. But they were only getting paid like $1.50 more than I was getting paid with just my bachelor's degree and my 1.5 years of subbing. So I was like, this is not the move. This is not the move. There's no, and honestly, they were tutoring just to supplement their income, which is ridiculous. They're teachers. They are full-time teachers with the credentials to get paid decently, and yet they are tutoring some badass kids. Some of them were bad, but some of them actually had like learning issues that I felt should have been. Anyway, that's another story. But like I said, y'all, that's what, honestly, maybe that's what Peter Thomas need to do. Peter Thomas, if you still in jail, baby, this is what you need to do. You need to sit down. You need to write out a plan. You need to contact your manager. If you have a manager, you probably don't have a manager because you didn't pay the motherfucker. But if you do have a manager that you're paying consistently on time, you need to talk to them and see about getting a show called Finesse with Peter Thomas. You get it? Finesse with Peter Thomas. It's not gonna make it, but get it together, Peter. Like, it just doesn't, in my head, because you have the resources. Technically not. You technically don't have the money, but you have investors, you have people you can call on and be like, this is my idea, help me out. You have the connections to have a good accountant. You have the connections to have, good general managers. You have the connections to actual successful restaurateurs and like restaurant business owners. You need to call Lisa Vanderpump and see if she can school you one-on-one in the restaurant business, because you're failing and you've already created like a really bad name for yourself. But damn, Peter, like, I just feel like there's no reason why you should be pulling the shenanigans that you're pulling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand there's a lot of businesses that struggled during the pandemic, but these rumors have been rumbling and grumbling before, like pre-pandemic, and I feel like you're just a crook. I feel like, yeah, Peter Thomas is a crook. I feel like Peter is just a crook. Anyway, drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think about this Peter Thomas situation and this interview. Also, Tasha K got her own issues going on with Cardi B. Tasha K done filed for bankruptcy, so Cardi B can't even collect on her $3 to $4 million judgment anymore. Like, everybody, it's a money grab, y'all. It's a money grab. It's a money grab. Anyway, y'all, I'll holler at y'all later. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And we'll talk soon. Bye.